We'll begin in child's pose. Touch your big toes together, open your knees wide, reach your fingertips towards the top of your mat. Spread your fingers away from one another and gently press down into your palms. Breathe here. Keep your knees wide where they are. Begin to put more pressure down into your hands. In your next inhale, lift yourself all the way up. Drop your belly down towards the mat. Lift your gaze, lift your toes towards your head. Feel a stretch in the front line of your belly through your quads and your hip flexors. Your next exhale, push your hips back into child's pose. Keep your hands planted where they are. Breath to movement. Inhale, lift yourself up, drop your belly down, lift your chin. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Keep the pressure in your palms. Inhale, rise, feel the stretch deepen. And exhale, push back, feel your hips relax towards your heels. Inhale through plank pose this time. Bring your legs behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your hips up towards the sky. Inhale, lift your right leg away from the ground and then stack your hips. Drop your right foot over towards the left side of your body. You can stay still or you can make giant circles with your knee and your hip joint here. Relax your head and relax your neck. Bring your right foot through center and step it towards the top edge of your mat. Set your left knee down and rise to crescent moon. Reach your arms towards the sky. Your back toes can be tucked under or flat on the mat, whatever is more comfortable for you. Press straight into your front heel and lift your rib cage away from your hips. Now curl your back toes, lift your back knee, fold forward over your straight front leg. Target area to stretch is your hamstring and the back line of your right leg. Allow your head and your neck to be completely heavy. Keep your left heel away from the earth. Option to shorten your stance a little bit by walking your left foot closer towards the top of your mat. Other option is to bend your right knee. Avoid locking out through your knee joint. Set your back knee down, come back to crescent moon, reach your arms to the sky. Place your hands directly below your right knee and push your chest away from your right thigh. Keep your core muscles slightly engaged and breathe into your hips. Release your hands inside your right foot for runner's lunge. There's two options. You can set your back knee down, or you can keep your back knee lifted for a little bit more muscle engagement. Third option is a quad stretch. Reach your right hand back and grab for your left foot. Regardless of the variation, keep even, full breaths. Step into plank pose. Bring your right leg back to your left. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Flip your feet, upward facing dog. Pull your chest forward. And exhale to downward facing dog. We'll do the other side. Lift your left heel up. And then stack your hips. Drop your left foot over towards the right side of your body. Again, you can stay still or you can make giant circles with your knee and your hip joint. Bring your left foot back through center and then step forward to the top of your mat. Rest your right knee down, rise to crescent moon, reach your fingers up towards the sky. Back toes can be tucked or the shoelace side of your foot can be flat on the mat. Draw your belly back towards your spine and lengthen through your sides. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, fold over your straight front leg. Doesn't have to be all the way straight. You can keep a small or generous bend through your left knee. Your right heel will stay lifted away from the mat. Option to shorten your stance a little bit by walking your right foot closer to the top edge of your mat. Check out your breath. Make sure it's full and even. Soften the tension you placed in your jaw and be heavy in your head. Come back to crescent moon. Set your back knee down. Reach your arms up towards the sky for a moment. Release your hands right below your left knee and push your chest away from your left thigh. Feel the stretch deepen through your right side quad and hip flexors. Runner's lunge, lots of variations here. Bring your hands inside your front foot and walk your front foot up so your ankle is either directly under or in front of your knee. You can take the quad stretch by reaching your left hand back to grab for your right foot. You could take a more active variation by keeping your right knee away from the mat. Regardless of the variation, continue to breathe fully and deeply. Step back to plank pose. Keep both hands firmly down. Lower halfway, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Keep your knees and thighs lifted away from the ground. Downward facing dog. Press your hips to the sky and melt your chest towards your legs. Look towards your hands. Walk your feet up behind them for gorilla pose. Pick up your feet and slide your palms directly underneath them until your toes touch your wrist creases. Bend your knees as much as you need to make hand-to-foot connection. Bring your elbows to the side and gently pull down with your arm strength to get your chest a little closer towards your legs. Gaze between your shins or even close your eyes. Target stretch is the whole back line of your body, so the back of your legs, your low back, even into your mid and upper back. Release your hands and walk your feet together to touch one another. Lift up halfway first, feel the engagement and the strength in your core muscles. Then soften and fold forward over your legs. Rise to chair pose, bend your knees deeply, sit the weight in your heels. Sweep your fingertips behind you. Lift your left leg into half staff, straighten your right leg. Figure 4, bring your hands through heart, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, and sit back into a chair shape. Target stretch here is the outside of your left hip and glute. Hinge forward from your hips. Bend your right knee deeply. Flex your left toes towards your left knee. Focus your eyes on one spot on the ground to help with balancing. Avoid clenching your toes. Rise back to half staff. And then slowly bring your left leg back through space. Plant the ball of your foot on the ground. Reach your arms straight up towards the sky. This is crescent lunge. Pull your hands through heart. Gently hover your left knee away from the mat. Press your left leg back up. 2 more lunges. Lower your left knee. Press back up. Last time, lower your knee. Press back up. Reach your arms to the sky just for a moment. Breathe into your sides. Lower to the ground, step from high plank to low plank. Keep your elbows in. Upward facing dog, breathe into your belly. Downward facing dog, hips back towards the sky. Look towards your hands. Tiptoe your feet up behind them. Gorilla pose or big toe pose. Take your 2 peace fingers and link your big toes so your palms face in towards one another. Use your arm strength to gently pull your chest closer towards your legs. And relax your head and your neck completely. Draw your shoulder blades away from your earlobes so they rest lower down towards your mid-back. Breathe. Slowly let go of your toes. Walk your feet back together to touch one another. Lift up halfway first, engage your core muscles. Fold forward over your thighs, soften your knees. Chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back and down. Airplane your arms, sweep your fingertips back. Lift your right leg this time into half staff, straighten your left leg. Figure 4, bring your hands through heart, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and sit your left leg back into a chair shape. Gaze at one spot on the ground to help you stay balanced. Soften your left toes, avoid clenching them on your mat. Hinge forward from your hips so your pelvis spills forward over your thighs. Keep drawing your belly towards your spine. And bring your shoulders away from your ears so your chest is broad and open. Flex your right toes towards your right knee. Rise back to half staff. Bend your right knee to 90 degrees. Slowly bring your right leg back through space. Land the ball mound of your foot on the earth. Crescent lunge. Reach your arms straight up for a moment. Draw your hands down to heart center. 3 lunges. Lower your right knee to the earth. Gently press back up. 2 more times. Lower your right knee down and press back up. Last one. Gently lower your knee and press up. Reach your fingertips to the sky for a moment. Chaturanga, set your hands down on the ground. Step your left leg to plank, lower halfway. Upward facing, press evenly into your palms. Downward facing, keep your palms firm on the earth. And breathe. Gaze forward, step your feet to the top, point your toes out, drop into frog squat malasana, lower your hips towards the earth.